Hello everyone, my name is Havian, and today I'm going to be looking at what happened to .hack. I mean, as you know, I cover a lot of Sword Art Online games, but there's always some comment that pops up that's always wondering, where's .hack? What happened to .hack? Why is Sword Art Online a big thing nowadays? Why isn't .hack big? So I went and looked for .hack. I was curious. I had to go on a little journey to try and figure out, what did happen to .hack? I mean, this is a game that I used to play when I was a lot younger. I've got to be honest, I'm not as attached to .hack as a lot of people are. There's a lot of hardcore fans for .hack games, but I'm not one of them. That's mainly because I couldn't get like all of the games, and I haven't watched all the animes. But I can sympathize with them, because damn, .hack's been .hack's been gone for quite a while. But I did hear CyberConnect were planning on making some other games, but I've been wondering what they've been doing with .hack up until now. So I went on a little journey. I tracked down .hack. I figured out where it was hiding, and it's not pretty. Oh, it's not pretty. For those of you that have .hack deep in your hearts, it's not pretty. I'm pretty sure this is already known to most people that are into .hack, so I'm probably going to be opening a few wounds for you guys. But it seems that .hack New World was their latest game, and yes, it's a mobile game. But with that being said, for a mobile game, it's actually not horrible, which is probably something you don't want to hear me saying at all. But I decided I wanted to play it more out of curiosity than anything, and I thought I'd show it to some of you, because I'm pretty sure some of you are curious to see what they've done with .hack, and some of you probably actually wanted to try the game yourselves, but didn't know what it was about. And some of you probably have no idea what .hack is, so I'm probably showing you this series when it's not at its best. It's gonna have that tag, you know when people say, oh, it's good for this, it's good for that. This game's okay for a mobile game. If it were on anything else, I wouldn't be able to pass it off, but currently, compared to the standard of all the other mobile games out there, it's alright. It's one of those like social mobile games where it's kind of like an MMO, but not an MMO. There's loads of other people playing the game at the same time, you're online playing it, but generally for the most part you're going to be on your own, or it's going to be your party. You can play with other people for certain missions, but it is pretty limited. It is free to play, but it is one of those free to play gacha style games. So even though it has the characters, there's a good chance that the people that really want certain characters are going to end up spending a lot of money rolling for the ones that they want. You can get some characters through normal gameplay, but some of the better ones seem to be through the gacha system, or at least some of the ones that I've found so far. They do give you a few free rolls to get some of them, but from what I've found so far, a lot of the characters that I've just got through playing the story. And there's no limits to playing the story, but there are stamina systems in place for a lot of the extra missions where you can start getting the better characters. So if you want the good stuff, they're either going to pressure you to dip into the gacha system to get yourself some better weapons, equipment, and new characters, or you're going to be limited time-wise on trying to do the missions that require you to consume stamina, which can suck if you really just want to grind one mission to go after certain things. But if you don't really care about the character, like certain characters, or if you're not really into .hack and you don't really know who these characters are, then you'll probably just get by using any of the characters you come across or any of the characters that drop. And it does seem to use the same kind of mobile game rarity system, where you'll find like a normal rarity character, then you can get that same character in multiple different rarities, and you're going to try and get the ones that have the highest rarities, so they're going to be the strongest characters. But from what I've seen so far, all of the characters I've found through normal play seem to be just normal ranked characters or rare ranked. The one I got from Gacha was a super rare one, and that was through the tutorial. In the tutorial, they give you unlimited tries to get the character you want from one Gacha roll. So you have one chance to get anyone you want at the very beginning, which is nice. Every few hours, I believe you get free tries. Those free tries that you get don't seem to be just characters. Sometimes you can get garbage in there. So you can probably get like few bits of gold, like EXP bonuses in there, so you're not always guaranteed a character for those ones. But I'm not too sure. Maybe I'm hoping that the paid ones will give you a character guaranteed. The game is slightly MMO-ish, and you can walk into a town and walk around and see other people. There's not really a lot you can do in the town that you can't already do from just being in like your little camp area or lobby area. So there's a good chance you're rarely gonna come to this area to do anything, but you can see other people around. I doubt I'd socialize with anyone here anyway. I don't understand Japanese, but if you want to, you can. You can spend most of your time in missions getting stuff, or you can go around running around in the town collecting things on the floor. The way your character works is you don't really play as your main character, which is a bit weird. You use another character's soul and you play as that character, but just through your character, if that makes sense. But that being said, your character does have extra ways of increasing their strength. Right now I'm using the soul of Kite in my character, so I have dual blades, but depending on which character I have equipped or which character I've slotted into my character, it changes weapons and the stats will change. My main character also has an extra power called the GOD, or the Gaze of Dominator, I believe it's called, which is something that I use to give my character extra stats, but it's also something I can use as a special move in battles. And when you're going out on missions, you can bring another character that is playing the game along with you. And when you use their character, they get some extra points for it, and it's vice versa. If someone else uses my character in one of their games, then I'll get a few extra points that I can use towards rolling the gacha. Now this game is very story heavy, so people that don't understand Japanese are going to have a hard time figuring out what's happening with the storyline. But so far from what I've seen, you'll be able to play through the storyline without any interruptions, because the storyline missions don't require any stamina or anything like that. And you'll still be able to get some characters and equipment from the normal storyline missions. Now the combat system in the game, at first glance, it looked really flashy, but I assumed that it wouldn't have anything to it. But surprisingly, even though it's a mobile game, there's actually a little bit of depth in there. So all of your characters will attack automatically, but you can select which targets they will do auto attacks automatically, but you can select which targets you want to do attacks on. So you're able to change the targets freely, but you'll be able to see on the character, there'll be a target that appears on them, so it'll tell you which character has been targeted for an enemy attack. You have to click on that target or hold down on your party member that's about to be attacked, and it will block the incoming attack. So you have to pay attention to when you're being attacked as well as doing attacks. And when you do a special move, you can follow up with that special move with another character. And that other character, it will create kind of a combo. And then when two characters have done two moves one after another, it will perform like an additional attack. So you need to know which characters you have in your party, use their skills to buff your team up, to heal your party, to do attacks on the enemy, while blocking all of the incoming enemy attacks, and knowing which enemies you're fighting, because the game's got kind of like a rock paper scissors style element system, so using the right characters and the right enemies will do extra damage. So you kind of need to pay attention to what's happening in front of you. When I first started playing it didn't seem that way at all, but the more I got into it and the more I started to understand it, I was like, okay, maybe I actually have to start paying attention to what's going on. Now in the game you'll have like boss style missions, or you'll have just some missions where you're just fighting waves of opponents, and you'll kill the first wave, and then you'll move into the next wave, and then so on and so forth until you get to the final wave of enemies. You just have to survive until you reach the end. That's generally how the main flow of the game goes, but you will find there's some enemies that, you'll find there's some boss rounds that are pretty much just one round, but you'll find that there are some other ones where you have to fight multiple rounds and survive until the end. But the main thing about this game is understanding when you need to do your attacks, when to combos, when to wait with your attacks, because enemies might do their own combos on you, and you need to have enough defense or need to have enough SP to execute the attacks that you need, or to restore your HP. SP is shown in the character portraits as the little circles that are filling up. There's a red border around the circles. Once that red border is filled, you can use your special move with that character. But you'll find that when you're blocking, it will cost 1 SP to use. So we have story quests, but there are a variety of different types of quests you can do. You got your story quests, then you have event style quests, then you have character stories quests. So each of the characters that you will find will have their own little storyline that goes along with them as well. And there'll be other quests that you can do that will unlock new quests for you to do in the game. But did you really think character quests were the only things you could do with characters in this game? Oh no. No. There's more. You can increase the affection of characters by giving them gifts. And when you increase the affection with a character enough, you can increase the bond with them and it will unlock new stuff for the character. So it seems like the game's got a lot of focus on the characters and building each individual character up, or your favorite characters up. But I've got a feeling that is going to take a lot of grind. Oh yep, they shoved the dating system in there as well. They gotta get it in. Just give them some cookies. I'm pretty sure certain characters are gonna have certain preferences, but just throw whatever you got at them. And it's not only the basic presents that you've got more advanced presents that you can give them that you can use twice a day. You can give them a special present for that special character you've always dreamed of. You can look over into the sunset and give them a gift. Give them a wedding ring. And you pat their head. Touchscreen gaming at its finest. You're welcome. You'll see that every 20 levels you'll be able to get something new for a character, but it does seem like you need to do that for all of the characters you want to get powerful. But something tells me Haseo is not gonna like any of this. Oh, spoke too soon. I guess he does like it. I doubt I'm gonna play any more of this. This was just me being really curious about what's been going on with Dot Hack since the PS2 days. It's easy for me to say that this game isn't really Dot Hack, doesn't feel like Dot Hack, but I was never really a diehard fan, and I can't really understand the storyline that they've got inside of this, and it's not aimed at me. This is a game that's aimed at a Japanese audience, and maybe it's really working over there, I don't know. But for those of you over in the West that have been wondering what has been going on with Dot Hack, this has been going on with Dot Hack. At least your favorite characters aren't totally dead. It's on life support, but maybe in the future it'll get brought back. But it does really make me wonder about the boom of mobile gaming in Japan. Like, what is it about these games that hooks them so much? Because it feels like these games have a lot of the core elements of RPGs. It's got a lot of progression in there. It's got a storyline, a decent combat system for what it is. It's got a lot of the characters that people love from the series. It feels like it's a MMO or JRPG with no journey whatsoever. It feels like the sense of adventure and the journey is gone. There's no traveling, there's no real exploration, no real discovery. It's just the core RPG gameplay. But I guess maybe that's why it's popular over there. They've just got everything moves really fast and everything's just down to their core systems and people can just play them whenever they want. But for a lot of people, including me, I think the journey part is a big part of these games. But one thing I do need to accept is that these mobile games are not the console games. They're made for a different audience, and hopefully CyberConnect are still working on a console game. Even though they're probably gonna have to fight to find a new audience in the younger crowd, because man, the Dot Hack games are old. Not that old, but old enough to have skipped like a generation and a half. So there you go everyone, there's your Dot Hack. Who knows, maybe I'll find like another game that's gone missing and try and find out what's happened to that as well. But I am interested in knowing what you guys think if you would consider yourselves big Dot Hack fans. Would you be able to accept this as a Dot Hack game if it came over to the West? Or are you still waiting and hoping that they're going to release a new story or a new console game at some point? Or maybe even an MMO? Interested in hearing your thoughts. I'm going to be making some other videos and probably digging up some more games from the grave really soon. But until I make those videos, I'll see you all later.